This is God Off Topic.
I'm Mike.
I'm Jason.
I'm Neisha. We talk about everything from Disney movies
To blowjobs.
And everything in between. Hopefully we don't offend.
We probably will.
This is
God Off Topic.
We're back. And we're gonna cheers.
We're going to
here.
cheer this time with something we've left out of the last
there you
5
go.
podcasts.
Cheers.
Here's one for my
We haven't
homie.
we haven't cheered
One for Biggie.
since the first podcast.
I like Biggie.
We're gonna bring that tradition back. Something we hope to do each podcast, and we kind of forgot about it on podcast 2. So we're back now. All right. Well,
Go ahead, Mike.
okay. We have some more topics to go over today.
First topic.
First topic. We're just gonna
We have a special guest, or do we not have a special guest?
we're gonna get right into it. No special guest today so
No,
far,
we have
but
a special guest today.
The dogs don't count. What?
Go ahead, Mike.
What?
Let it rip. We can always start.
I'm torn here.
We are.
I'm
We can
extremely
always
torn
turn
here.
over. Go ahead.
So you did have a question.
I actually
Get those
don't.
in.
You have to
Let me
get
do that
closer.
right
I don't have a question.
You do have a question.
No,
Go ahead,
I didn't
Michael.
write anything down. I didn't think this was going to happen. But if a special guest would like to read our first topic, which I should have prepped you a little more before we started recording.
I'm trying to read your handwriting.
Well, I chicken scratch it because I'm the only one reading it. It's my prep notes. You're seeing some you're hearing some behind the scenes stuff going on here.
Okay, what's our first topic?
Our first topic.
First topic.
Okay, first topic. Somebody's looking at my notes, so I don't have the exact.
Couples who have partners who are too hot for them.
Well, that's not how it was written, but okay. And this is something I'm sure maybe some of our listeners deal with, maybe they don't. And I noticed this a while back when I was out. You start looking around and you notice couples out there. And I think we all look at couples and say, "Oh man, that's a nice looking couple," or "Nah, this or that." But have you ever noticed when you're looking at couples and you see one of the two, they just don't go together? Either one's like, "Man, she really takes care of herself," but God damn, he's let himself go. Or either way, maybe the guy, it's a nice looking guy, but the spouse is like, "Nah, she doesn't really take care of herself."
That's what we call the Hugh Jackman model.
That's the Hugh Jackman model, yes. I'm just, I just thought it was interesting to talk about because you see that a lot, and then, all right. So we have a special guest with us today who's going to comment on that. Or we're all going to give our opinion on that.
She is someone who is
Don't
too hot for
like-
her spouse.
Don't look so weird about this. Like, you're the one that read the topic.
I read the topic. I feel like this was a setup.
So
This was not a setup.
We were already going to do this topic. We just let you read it. So basically, me and Mike specifically have a friend who has a fairly attractive wife, and he has let himself go over the last 10
years, yeah.
Yeah, like he's pushing what, 200?
He's up there.
Yeah, and his wife is this little skinny stick. So
Who's really into working out and fitness and dieting
and drinking, but
and drinking.
when I see a couple like that, my first inkling is she's either a stripper or he is really rich.
Well, it's funny you mention that because if you were to confront these couples, the female, if she were the hotter of the two, the female is always going to say, "Well, he treats me nice,"
Right?
Or she won't come out and say he's got money,
Yeah.
he's packing, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
That's when me and my wife are together.
Yes.
The packing part, I don't have any money.
Because I'm a stripper?
Well, no, listen.
Because I'm packing.
If
Not
she-
because I have money.
If she stays with us
want
for
that
the
on
whole
record.
podcast, maybe she'll make it to the end of the podcast where we all rant about something.
Yeah,
and we
just
might
get
find
it
out
right
about
now.
that.
Yeah, no.
'Cause we're
I
all
like to rant about my guys.
We're all curious about that. Well, I'm not, I know. But
We already
Or-
talked about this, Mike. You have not seen it.
Not yet. The podcast
Looks
has just
don't
started.
matter.
True.
Or they've been together for so long, like they
Well, yeah,
they fell in love before something changed,
and
that
that's
change didn't impact their feelings.
As a matter of fact, me and Neisha had a former person that we used to work with who I wouldn't, like, I don't think is attractive. How would you describe her? Like, I don't, like, she's not pretty, but, like, she's got this attractiveness. Like, she has a very nice smile. And
Sure, we'll go with that.
but her partner looks like a Muppet from the Dark Crystal.
Oh, God. Man, that's... Whew.
Yeah. But she's obsessed with him. Like, it's insane. They live in Florida, by the way. So,
It's fitting.
yeah.
Florida. Sorry,
Well,
listeners
could it
from
not
Florida.
go beyond looks?
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, apparently he's, like, behind the scenes, he must be, like, a super amazing guy because he's super quiet. He doesn't really speak much. Either that or he's hung like Dirk Diggler.
And that is not necessarily a good thing, though.
Yeah,
And we can
agree. I
ask
think penis size is-
ask our guest. I don't think that's. I would ask
Neisha,
Neisha,
is
but she
penis
could care
size
less.
overrated?
I love that while
Probably,
sitting here, Mike has not
possibly.
made eye contact with me.
And I won't do that. I hardly make eye contact with them.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just not going to
focused- no, He's
happen.
focused on the work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Focused on the work. That's
No,
what it
I
is.
have my list right here, and I have my. You
And his
know,
beer's over there. He's fine.
yeah,
You
I'm
need
good.
another one.
No, not yet.
Okay. So, what was the question?
So, Neisha, is microphone size important to you?
No.
Seeing that you said every time you look at a mic,
Quality,
you think of a penis.
oversized.
She likes to
So
use
that's
two
that
microphones,
6% we need to go after. She said she's only 94%. So we need to go
Oh,
after that 6%.
that's right. I talked about this. Let
Did
me
you
tell
fill
about
in the
story.
other gap?
In a
there
previous
with the 6%?
podcast,
Let me tell
In
you
a
what
previous
it
she was
podcast.
only 94% gay.
Well, we didn't actually talk about this. This
Oh,
is
that's right.
pre-recording.
That's right. That's right.
So I was
Okay.
joking with my brother and sister recently. And I said, I'm only 94% gay. And then I started thinking about it. But then she pointed out, she was like, so out of 100 people that you date, you would be with 6 guys. And I'm like, no.
How long have we known each other, Neisha?
So why are
Like
you only
10 years.
94%?
Well, no, because I was joking. Because I always like to leave a little bit of a... Because I don't want to be like 100%. Because you never know what's going to happen. Although I'm very confident that I'm pretty freaking gay. You never know what's going to happen. And I don't want like some weird, like 100 years in the future, something weird, crazy happens. And then people are like, I thought you said you were 100% gay. Like, what's going on with that? And so I'm like,
Right.
okay, well, so I'm just going to say 94 is a high number, sure. But then I thought about it when she said, so out of like 100 people, you'd be a 6. I'm like, that's way too high. Let's we're going to up that to like 98%. But that's still, like, I don't see myself dating 100 people in my lifetime. In no possible way. So 2 guys is just, it's still...
That may
Does
never
that count
happen.
if you go on like a date with them? Because then that's
I
easy.
don't
You can
know.
keep your
You could just do it to get it out of the way.
Yeah. You can
They
keep
could do
your
that.
percentage.
That might be-
Oh.
yeah,
without
yeah. That I don't know.
sacrificing your gayness.
I think that would work.
Would you rather that be with a stranger or someone you're familiar with or comfortable with?
I mean, I would rather go on a fake date with someone I'm comfortable with.
So for a fake date, we're not going all the way here to get that 2% out
If
the
it'll
way?
get my 2% out of the way with a fake date, then sure.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that counts. I think...
Well, you say you're dating. You date 100 people.
It's a date. Things could possibly happen. Isn't that what a
won't.
date is about? They won't.
Well, you don't know that.
It
One
could
day
possibly. It could.
What if this person just woos you?
I mean, if I went on a date with Ryan Reynolds, you don't know what would happen. He's a very
I know
attractive
what would
guy.
happen if I went on a date with Ryan Reynolds.
Do you really
He's
think
a
that?
very attractive guy.
He is a very attractive guy.
Is he?
Although I do say,
here's a good topic. Like, he's really not that good looking. He's a
though.
charismatic guy. His
And
eyes
the
are
two
crooked.
combined is a pretty damn good combination.
yeah, I would agree with that.
What about Hassan Minaj?
You know, I like me some Hassan Minaj.
I know.
That's why you bring him up. Yeah, I do like me some Hassan Minaj.
Would
He's a
you
good
have
looking
sex
guy.
with him?
Could he be
No.
one of your 100?
He
Or
could
102?
possibly,
Is he
be,
in your 2%?
I guess. He might be in my 2%, but
Well, there you
that's
go.
a very
Ryan Reynolds and
Hassan
Hassan
Minaj.
Minaj.
Although I would take out Ryan Reynolds because I don't think I would ever have a chance with him, and I would do an Adam Brody and Hassan Minaj. I always said if I was,
I like Adam
I
Brody.
always said if
No,
I was straight,
Adrian
I would
I'm
go
thinking
for
Adrian
the.
Brody. That's different.
You got
That's
Adrian
very
Brody.
different.
I would go for the
Okay,
very
I'm sorry.
nerdy like guys, and
I
Adrian
can see
Brody
you
and
with
Hassan
Adam
Minaj are both like very nerdy
I can see
looking,
that too.
Yeah.
but classy.
Then I get Ryan Reynolds.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
you can have Ryan.
No, I mean,
Well, shit, who do we get
I would
then?
I have had the same
Yeah.
crush
Names
since
around.
like
Who do we have?
1996 or whatever.
What's her face?
Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He gets Selma Hayek. I get Gina Gershon.
So,
and
but
we're all
who
set
are-
here.
Who's that?
but I just told you my opposite crushes. Who are like your guy crushes then?
Oh, guy crushes.
Have we talked
Ooh,
about
that's
this before?
interesting.
Mine's easy. It's been Brad Pitt for like since
Legends of the Fall?
yes. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
Every time the dude would come into the picture, there would be like this build up of Superman music, and then he'd come over with his long flowing hair on a horse. I was like, that's a good looking son of a bitch.
You like the long hair?
He looked good in it. I mean, he's a good looking guy. Who's a more recent one? Who is a more recent one?
Like you can't be that far away.
Wow, huh? I've actually
you're
never
sharing.
thought about that
That is a
question.
lie.
No, I have not.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure about that. Huh.
Think away, buddy.
If I were to, go
Think
there, it'd
away.
probably be a lot more local than a
That's fine.
celebrity like that. But I don't know. I just can't think of a celebrity that I'd be. Now you got me thinking about it though. I'll come back to it. I will. I promise. I will come back and just bust out a name. You know I will. I
Who
will.
is the people? Somebody just opened a bar here.
Oh, that's
that
the dude
is on
from
that
Supernatural.
Dean and
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah, like we go to this. There's a Waterloo Ice House restaurant on Capital Texas Highway, and me and Mike were there one night, and we were talking about. I was talking to one of the waitresses, and she came over, and she's like, "Oh, there's a guy from Sujan." I don't know how it even came up.
She actually approached us. We didn't.
Yeah, it was not us. It was all her. If my wife was listening.
Your wife is sitting a foot away from you.
Oh, you're still here.
Slap him.
So anyway,
slap him.
we were told my wife apparently has a thing for somebody on Supernatural, and I told her, "Oh, this guy, whatever." His
Which
name
one, the
was.
hot brother or the not so hot brother?
hot brother.
Yeah.
Which one is he?
I'm going to let you tell me.
See, this is a show I didn't even know
Yeah.
what the things on the CW were still on. But I guess this show's been
Supernatural
on
is
for
never
like
going to end.
15, 20 years.
Can't see his. Like his
Been on
color.
almost as long as The
Yeah.
Simpsons. But I've never
Probably
seen an
it,
episode.
it may break Simpsons records.
There's no way.
because
No way.
Is that the hot one? I don't like. It's not Brad Pitt, so it's hard for me.
Which,
to know.
which is the hot one?
I think he's
Hold
better
on.
than the other guy. And I know you hate.
Wait,
I know
who?
you hate long hair too.
Yeah.
Which one?
Dean. Or we're saying.
Yeah. So the hot one, not
So
the hot one.
he used to come into our Waterloo all the
but
time.
it was the other one that
in a
used
little
to come
beanie.
in.
Oh yeah, he
Here.
lives here, right? Or
And
he's.
he just opened a bar here.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Sorry,
Where do you open it?
I stopped listening to you.
Dripping Springs, it's still being built.
Oh,
Did
No, I think they're both doing it as a thing.
oh
Yeah.
That's right.
Maybe.
Jensen Ackles is opening one with his brother,
did
and Jared.
he ever come in while we were there?
no, he was never there. when we were there. There can only be so many good-looking people.
Well,
in that Waterloo.
true.
We always fill up the quota.
True, and yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, no, I think we're maybe one of those couples. You're the hot one, and I'm just there. And
see, look at this tricep.
Getting
You talk about the hot
getting
one.
back
You
to our
can see your
topic.
vein in your arm. Like, come on.
Like, I haven't worked out like a week.
Me too.
I haven't worked out in like 10
Has it been
years,
that long?
so
It has. I know. Took a little break.
Took a little break. Yeah.
Y'all need to get back in the gym. Let me tell you,
You need to stop judging.
I'm
me.
going Sunday.
I ain't judging nobody.
I don't have a gym membership.
You want to buy one?
Nope.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That takes away my excuse of not going to the gym.
All right. So, what was the question at the beginning of this?
Well, the
topic?
beginning
It's
of
like,
this
where were
topic
we?
was the mismatched couples.
Oh yeah.
And how
so
you
where do we
see-
come
you
out
see
on
that often.
Do
Well-
we just assume that it's like a stripper with a rich guy or a rich guy that
Well, I think we.
Rich
or like
woman,
Trump
you and
and
I want to
Melania.
assume that, but I think what we
Mail order bride.
I was gonna say,
mail order bride? I didn't
Trump-
think about
Trump
that.
and
That's
Melania.
Trump and Melania.
Trump
Yeah.
and anyone he's ever been with.
I think what I like your answer, me being
Trump and
where they may have started dating or married young, and as life happens, you have kids.
Some people just don't
move
age
on.
well.
You just kind of get content with things, and things happen. You change. You get older. You're not the same person. when you were younger, and things are different. So, but maybe one of them has a little bit more time to stay up on things. Maybe the other one doesn't because they're working all the time, or vice versa. But maybe that's it.
Are you trying to make yourself feel better?
No.
Next topic.
What's the next topic?
Anyway, and I'm glad we have.
For the next topic, or do you need to go to?
I'm actually glad we have a guest for this next topic.
Oh, okay. Well, just stick it around
I
then.
gotta go.
Apparently you're
What's
staying.
the next topic?
Because
we'll do it real quick.
She may have some input on this because I don't follow a lot of this, but I know my wife does and other people probably do. But when you're flipping through the channels and you find these shows, whether they're on any cable channel, TLC, Bravo, E, whatever those channels are, where they kind of follow families along, or relationships, or couples, or any of these
like 90 Day Fiancé
documentaries,
or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And I brought this topic up because a while back I was at home and my wife was watching a show, and there was a couple in Texas that had quintuplets. They were all girls, and it followed this couple and
Out-daughtered.
and so I'm watching it with her, and all of a sudden the guy starts talking off camera, or to the camera, I guess, wherever they confess things where their spouse is not around, and they're like, I think I need to go to counseling, and I need to go out of state to do this, and I think the dude's cheating on her, and he's going to cheat on her. This marriage is going to fail. They had 5 girls. Now he's going to go off and bang other people. And I'm hoping he's doing that for me. I just want to see this happen on screen here. And
Katie and I both made the same
so my
face right
question
there.
is,
Okay, hold up.
do you watch these shows and you want these people?
That's not the
Why
question.
would you want to?
No. The question is, do you watch these shows and do you want these people to just fail miserably?
No.
I mean, maybe
Why
that's
would
just,
you want that?
they're like,
No, I agree with Katie. No, I don't do that.
I kind of want some drama there if I'm going to watch the
Oh,
show.
there's going to be drama. That's the reason it's a show.
I'm not above TLC making me feel better about my life. Meaning,
Yeah.
I watch My 600-Pound Life.
Oh, God.
I'm good. I watch Hoarders.
She watches it all the time. So
I'm
it's
good.
disgusting. I don't
Like-
understand how
She might be
But-
more of a permanent member of our
Aye, aye,
cast.
aye.
She's really tied it into our first topic there.
Here's a topic for going back to a previous podcast. Here's a topic.
We do that a lot.
We
Yeah.
never...
Here's a good one though, because we've discussed this in depth. Is a hand job cheating?
How does this even come close to time?
No, I'm saying going back to our previous topic. He's talking about cheating when you go out of state. I just want to make Michael comfortable.
Oh, I'm not the one with the spouse sitting next to him.
I know. I
So
asked the question.
maybe this is the question I'm going to ask.
I just asked.
Is a hand job cheating? Yes.
Is a hand job cheating?
Yes.
Yes.
And
We all said yes.
I'm so glad
did you
there's
want me to
another
pause
girl
on
here
No,
with
no,
me.
this is what we said.
Talk
No,
over.
I'm so glad there's another girl here with me.
No, I'm just saying, yes, it's cheating.
This is what
That's
we
all I have to
said.
say.
We said if you have to think about when I say this to my significant other, when I got home, when I tell them what happened when I was out, it's cheating. Like,
What?
hey, honey, I was out
Would
today
you
and I
tell,
got a hand
would you
job.
tell your
Your
spouse
spouse.
about
You would
it?
not go
Cheating.
home and say, "Hey, I just got a hand job at the club." If you have to, if you do not feel comfortable telling them, it's probably cheating, and it happened with somebody else.
Yes. And that's what Mike wants to have happen on this fella that's got...
yeah, this
The
dude that's
quintuple
got
show.
like 5 or 6
He wants some
kids.
drama.
Oh, he's going to go to another state. He says he's going to counseling. He's going to bang some chick that he probably knew.
I don't know why you
back
go
in
out
the
of
day.
state to get therapy.
That's
mine's,
what-
mine's down the street.
That's another topic we can ask.
Mine's like a mile away.
Would you keep the affair local, or would you?
Well, yeah, save you money.
I mean,
Why
well,
is there an... Save
Here's a question:
she's frugal. She got a car that's all bunk.
gas money.
That's
My
That's what I'm
balance is
saying.
way off.
I can't
be
even
driving
buy
to
a new
Oklahoma.
car because it costs
gas
money.
shortage. What?
I can't even buy a new car because it costs money. I'd rather put, I don't sink how much I don't know into this thing. I'm all about the money, saving
Here's a
money.
good question about going to the cheating part. If you were in a couples therapy, but you were also seeing the therapist separately, and you were cheating on your spouse, would you tell your
With-
therapist, because it's in confidence in the one-on-one therapy, because you're going to have group therapy, and I'm pretty sure their therapist is going to at some point be like, "Hey, is there something you would like to say out loud to the group?"
Well, that depends on what you say. Like, if you're talking to the therapist and you're trying to find a way to bring it up to your spouse, then the therapist will help do that. If you're seeing the therapist and you're talking about how you're cheating on your wife, and
you know I'm down on here, right?
And you're cheating on your wife, and then you're sitting there as a couple trying to figure out why it won't work.
Right.
Then she might try to prompt.
Right. No, that's a good point. Well, what I will say is I've gone to 2 therapists
Raylan, why
in my
are you
life. Raylan,
panting so much?
he was just outside. When I went to a therapist, the first thing I do when I sat down with both of the therapists I talked to,
this isn't going to work.
No, yeah. Look, I'm going to tell you some shit right now. You can't leave this room. That's what I say. No, I don't say that.
I'm like, I think that's.
I tell them
isn't
everything
it?
that is like the worst possible thing that I consider in my closet or whatever that has happened to me, and just to get it, because I feel like if I don't say it right then and there, I'm not going to say it.
No,
I mean, you were the one talking. So.
Now, for clarification, you said seeing your therapist and cheating or whatever. You're not actually banging your therapist, are you?
No.
See, that's what
You're having,
the way you said
if
it.
you were having
The
an
way you
affair
said it.
on your wife and you were in couples counseling, but you were also seeing a therapist separately, would you tell the therapist?
Therapy.
Seeing
Like,
the therapy,
hey.
not banging.
I was with
Like,
you.
would you go to
I was
the-
with you,
so
Mike. I was with
Nisha and I are
you. The
thinking
way
you're
you
banging
said
the
it,
therapist.
the way you said it made it sound like you were banging the
Yeah,
therapist.
that's what it sounded like.
Okay.
So our
No,
listeners were curious. I'm curious.
What I'm saying
That's
is,
why I was confused.
okay, what I'm saying is, if you were,
So I'm glad we're on the same. Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
You were wrong, but
I feel like it was pretty clear what I said, right?
yes.
Thanks, Katie.
Well, when 2 of the original cast thinks another way,
Well,
I think the guest
We're having open casting.
theory does not matter. Write that down too.
Please feel, if you're interested in being on this podcast, please leave a comment.
You just do what Colbert does and just like scribble. And it's like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make note
Oh
of
my
this.
God.
Looking around at the house that we're doing this in, it looks very familiar. No, what I was saying was, if you were in couples therapy, but you were also seeing the therapist for therapy separately,
Okay.
would you confide in the therapist, look, I am a messed up individual, I'm cheating my wife, I sure as shit am not going to tell her, because it would end everything, and I don't want to end everything. I know I fucked up.
Are you continuing to cheat, or you did it once and you...
Well, that's the interpretation.
You know, another question we had in an earlier podcast, not only was it the hand jobs cheating, it was the same sex. Is that cheating?
Yes.
You're very strict. I mean, we all agreed, but I'm just throwing you under the bus here.
I mean...
We actually did all agree with that one, yes. Same sex would still be cheating, because you wouldn't go home and just say, hey, honey, guess what? Today I banged some dude. You know, wouldn't necessarily say that.
Right.
Now, if she was in on it and maybe wanted to take part in it and wanted to, you know, that's something she was into and wanted to see, you know, that's something you got to work out with your spouse. But I'm just saying.
Or you want to
Mike wants somebody to watch him have sex.
No, I'm just saying in general.
And then partake. Apparently. And
It
Neisha has said no in
right.
every podcast so far. So
No.
For her, it would be opposite.
it's 98% no. We're up from 94% last podcast.
99 is Hassan Minaj. 100 is Adam Brody. Other than that, no.
Well, at least we know where we stand.
I love you too dearly.
I
Just
know,
not in
I love
that
you
way.
too. What's the next topic?
Next topic.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Okay, before we our guest speaker is about to take off.
Where are
She's
you
going
going?
to do some charity work for the flooding in Houston.
It's big of you.
So I'm not sure when this podcast is actually going to get on, but
We'll be here
There
building
was
our
a
own
hurricane
egos.
in 2017.
yeah, in 2017 there was a really big Hurricane Harvey
Fair enough.
hit.
Fair enough.
And if
3
you are
years
listening
ago.
to this, then please donate to Salvation Army, Red Cross. I heard Goodwill is terrible.
ASPCA,
Probably.
food
ASPCA
banks.
and all that stuff. Don't give to your federal government because they're worthless.
Cash, not products.
Yes, cash not products. So
Continue.
that's it.
Bye, Katie. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Katie.
Bye.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Save lots of lives.
You want your chair back?
Nah,
All right.
I'm already here. Give Jason a second to readjust his microphone.
I'm offended. I felt like I was less in there with her as our guest. I really am.
I don't know. I felt like I had a little bit of backup.
That's because if you bite your tongue, that's your problem.
Well,
buddy.
she cut me off. She kind of listen.
She did keep putting her hand on your shoulder.
She
like,
did.
No.
You can't see this when we Facebook Live
Okay.
this eventually. You will see it. But
Here's the problem, Mike. You cut all of us off.
well, that
She
may,
just doesn't let you do it.
there may be some truth to that, but she knows. I guess she just doesn't know how we operate. I do cut people off. I kind of the moderator here, and she was pausing me, and I don't like that.
You know what it was?
She's a guest. She just answers questions and sits there. I mean, that's all she's supposed to do. That's it.
Oh God.
And if she can't do that, we may not hear from her again. I mean, and that's fine with me.
Ever in life or just this
I'm
podcast?
sure we're gonna have the podcast next time because this is her house.
Any future
This is the
guest,
last episode you'll ever hear.
think about this. Just answer the questions, and that's it. You know, you don't have to get into the production side. You don't have to get into any of it. Just answer the questions.
I think she's still in the house.
It's fine. She can't hear us. I hope not. So for anybody in the future that's on our show, and please, listeners, when we're out on the road, come see us. You know, get on the show.
Just don't interrupt us.
Just answer the questions, though. Don't interrupt us. Don't tell us how to do it.
Oh, she's back.
Oh,
Mike was just having a rant about you. Mike was just ranting.
No, I
Mike.
just thought it was great to have a guest. Oh, God. Why do I feel like the next podcast is going to be you two and her?
No.
I'm gone.
She's not coming back.
Oh, my God.
She's done with this.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
she's done.
what's the next topic?
Wow,
Next
I
topic.
just felt like I
Now that Mike took his 1 minute rant in the middle of the podcast, but
Yeah, so we got 2 more to go at the end of the podcast. Mine's done.
Okay.
Mine's done.
What's the next topic?
Well, now that she's gone...
You're the one that wanted her on
No,
there.
I'm just saying, the topics roll nicely now that she's gone.
Okay.
The next topic, we're going to talk about strip clubs.
Oh, okay. Oh, I should bring her back.
Whether you've been, whether you go, whether you've had some good experiences at some or not, or whether maybe we're going to do a show at one day. We don't know that.
That would be pretty fun,
That would be
actually.
actually really
It'd be
cool.
hard to do with the music unless we're in the champagne room.
We can be in the
Sounds
champagne room.
expensive.
Well,
Would
not
you
for
like to go
You
with
get it
us?
free.
I think we should do one like that.
If you can find a strip club that'll let us do one, I'm there.
All right. Well, then that's some.
She's
some
the
homework.
sound mixing, I'm the editing, you're the...
I told you I quit that, Jason.
Yeah, but I
somebody's
think
gotta
for
do it.
one episode, we could figure that out. Well, anyway, strip clubs
Awkward pause.
are they still relevant? Do people still go?
I think they do.
When's the last time you were at a strip club?
Years,
I haven't been since like 2001.
years.
It's
2002.
I've been, all of my strip clubs have been post 08.
Like last year.
so post.
This year.
That was my most recent one. It was, it was a little over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago.
So
was
we've
my
got
most
to
recent
take this
one.
show on the road to a strip club.
But and I've been to a lot of strip clubs, and every single one has been 2009 or later.
Did you enjoy strip clubs?
No, they are. And it's
Mike, do you
whatever.
enjoy strip
They're
clubs?
expensive.
Not without getting into detail or offending anybody about this, I don't enjoy the cost of strip clubs. I like going. If I go, I want to sit there, maybe have a drink, and just enjoy the view. I don't necessarily need interaction. I don't need any of that. I'll sit up at the stage, maybe throw some dollar bills around, but I don't need somebody coming up to me wanting to, do anything more than that. I don't need that.
See, and even the view type of thing doesn't appeal to me. Like, just watching half-naked girls dance on a stage just doesn't appeal to me. Like, I would rather a half-naked girl dance in the living room, for me personally, and it's fine.
Yeah, it's called a lap dance, Neisha.
No. Not a stranger. Let's put it that way. Naked strangers don't do anything for me. I have to have an emotional
Here's why a strip
connection
club would
first.
be really good for you.
Tell me.
Because-
Jason, tell me.
They find out you're gay,
Oh my god!
Oh no,
And
I know
they would
that.
go to fucking
Apparently,
town.
That's why
Apparently-
we've got to figure this out. We've got to figure this.
Hey, dude, you're the talent.
no, that's what I hear. But the thing is if I was into it, then yes, that would be a huge selling point. But I'm not into it, so it's not a selling point. It just sounds like something you're going to force me into doing.
I'm not gonna force you to do it. You can do whatever you want.
No, once.
I'm not paying $20 if you're not gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't waste your money.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm a very simple person. You don't have to spend money on me.
When I go to these
Have you ever
places,
had a bad strip club experience?
I've had some better than others. I wouldn't say any of them have been bad.
Worst strip club experience I've ever had. I went to a strip club with an ex, and we were with a group of people, and I don't really have any interest in tipping people. So we're sitting there, and my ex gives me $1 and says, "Here, go tip that chick." So I walk up with $1, feeling like, what the fuck? Like, what is my girlfriend giving me $1 to go tip? And I walk up to tip this girl, and I'm like far away, and I walk up there, and she got the biggest pimple I've ever seen. I was like, how the fuck did my girlfriend see that from so far? Because it's the only way she would give me $1 to go tip this fucking person. So I'm like holding my dollar out like this, like I have no interest. And she comes over.
Just because of a pimple?
No, like I didn't find her
just
attractive.
in
I'm
general.
not a strip club guy personally.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have, well, like we said, we haven't been in years. I mean, we've
Yeah, it's
gone
been
in
about
the
16
past, but
years.
it's been a very, very long time.
Yeah. The
And,
next podcast might be at a strip club.
Would I go
Might can make it
again
happen.
for show research, show prep? Yes,
Show prep.
I would go
We're
again.
going to do a podcast later today. We need to get ready for it by coming to
But
this.
I think,
So prep.
but as I said,
That's a good
before,
idea. We could go to a strip club and see if any stripper wants to be on the podcast and have them come give Neisha a lap dance while we're doing the podcast.
Oh my God! See, that's perfect.
I had a stripper offer
There's
to
a
give
chair
me
right there.
No, I had a stripper offer to give me a lap dance for free, and I was like, please don't.
That's because you're not into it. And you're uptight.
Was she at
Say
least
that. I'm
was she at least
saying
attractive?
Strangers.
Yeah, was she attractive?
She was attractive. I'm just saying, like, strangers being like, strip clubs are a different environment. Like, if I'm out and I'm like having fun and I've been drinking and it's like, I think it's just the environment, the strip clubs. It's just strip clubs. It's just like, it's not my thing. But like, there's plenty of like, I've gone out to clubs and whatever, and like people hitting on you is fine. Like, it's fun. And you're into it, but strip clubs is just a different environment. They just want their money.
Well, they do,
and
yeah.
And whether she was offering me a free lap dance or not, it was just like, I'm just not into it. Like, this is not my setting. It's not my thing. If we were at a club, if we were at a bar, if we were at the house, anywhere else, pretty much anywhere else, I'd be okay with it. But strip clubs they're not a thing for me. I'm just whatever. I don't want to. Nah. And I usually only go because I'm with a group and they're like, let's go to a strip club. And I'm like, I mean, if that's what the group.
Every time I've been, it's been with a group. I mean, I have been with a spouse. You know, sometimes you've been once.
Yeah, with a
Or
spouse.
early, you know, in our dating days. This is, of course, we were in Vegas at the time, so you kind of do different things in Vegas. But although I could not get her to take her clothes off and get into no. This is. We were
Yeah, it's their job.
we were staying at Bally's this time in Vegas, and it was our first time there. I had been there a number of times. So Bally's is right next to Paris, right there on the strip across from Bellagio, and they're connected to each other. And so we go over to Paris and we walk out into the pool area, which is right directly across the street from Bellagio, where the fountains are going off and stuff. And the pool's closed, which is hard to believe, but they're actually closed. We go out there, and they have a number of hot tubs out around the pools. So we had just come from Fremont Street, old downtown Vegas, and we're over by the hot tubs. And I'm like, I want to get in, and she's like, no, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, let's get in. But she didn't want anything to do with it. She was just thinking somebody would come out, which is possible. But I went ahead and just take it all off. I took it all off and got in the hot tub right there. I didn't care. It's Vegas, right? And she did, sit kind of next to me. Didn't get in the water though, because she was all freaked out, which really is understandable. But I was like, maybe it was all the drinks I had already walking through the mall. It's Vegas.
All of it.
All the drinks walking through the mall and walking down the strip. So I'm in the hot tub, just having a great time while the Bellagio fountains are going off across the street and this and that, and she's freaking out, but I'm like, screw it, I'm in here. Anyway, we're there maybe an hour, and then I get out, find a towel. Unfortunately, it was like a used towel. It's the only one I could find out there, but, screw it. And anyway, we headed back up to the hotel room. But anyway, I thought that was funny. But that was the only time we had been to a club together. But previous to that, I had only really I've never been to a club on my own, or just thought one night, let me go to the club, see what's going. It's always been with a group, and it's typically never even been my idea. It's always been something that the group has planned or somebody else has planned, and we just kind of all go. But I can't say I've had a bad experience there, but yeah, I don't mind going. I just like to sit there and kind of watch people and have a drink. I don't want to be.
You've had a lap dance before, right?
Oh yeah, but I don't go there looking for that, or could care less to go to anything private or anything like that. I just want to sit there and hang out and look at people, and that's it.
Pretty much every time I've gone, it's been under the condition that people buy my drinks. I'm like, I'm not going. If I have to buy my own drinks, I'm not going. And they're like, I'll buy you drinks. And they're, okay, well.
So Jay, we're going to start some money. We're going to put some money to the side, so when we go with Neisha, we can at least buy.
The best time I've ever had at a strip club was I was working at our store where we both worked at, and there was a gay fellow that was leaving, quitting. So we took him as a going away. We went out all these places, and we took him to Yellow Rose. And we walk in, and I swear to God, there was the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen in my life. And she was wearing the most awesome stripper outfit. She was wearing like a thong and a men's sport coat.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And so we all got him a lap dance with her. And so she's giving him the lap dance. She's all like rubbing her breasts in his face and stuff. And he's all like, he's literally like, what kind of lotion is that? That lotion is amazing. Or whatever. She's all like, literally like, we're like, what the hell is wrong with her face? And she's like, what? He's like, oh, I'm gay. My friends just took me here. And she gave him the most aggressive lap dance I've ever seen in my life.
So that's the secret.
Yeah, you just got to tell me.
That's the secret.
Just act like you're not into it, even if you are.
Yeah, unless you're a woman. And apparently they love giving women lap dances. We can't take Neisha and her significant other, whoever that will be, because it would be like if I went to a strip club. Like if we went to... How would your wife feel if you went to a strip club and she watched you? Would she be into watching you get a lap dance? Or
No, I don't.
I will kill her.
I would say not. I would say she wouldn't be into it.
I don't think my wife would be into it.
And in fact, I'll be honest. I could care less to have that done. I just again, if I ever went again, which we might do for one of these shows,
if you can make it happen,
I would just go to people watch and that's it. I could care less about the other stuff. In my in the past maybe, but I just want to sit there and watch people and
Then why would we go to a strip
Well,
club?
that's
like we could just go to a bar.
Well, that's
watch different people. I mean, the people have more clothes on.
That's true too, but it's the clothes thing.
Oh, so you want to see naked women from afar?
I do.
Okay,
you're not gonna lie, I do.
Okay.
But I just don't want to have to pay any extra for it. I already paid to get in the door.
She wouldn't have to pay.
She wouldn't have to pay.
No, she's fine. So
I refuse to pay to get into a strip club.
Well, you
wouldn't.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I've seen enough naked.
No, we might get
not
a discounted
enough.
rate
I've seen plenty of naked girls. I don't need to pay to see them. I could see them if I want.
Well, are we bragging? Wow.
Oh, she might.
Okay.
Have you ever had a one night stand, Nish?
Yeah.
I feel like we've covered that before. Have we talked about that?
We have not covered that to my knowledge.
Have you ever had a one night stand?
No. And I'm sorry that took a little while to think about.
No. It's a hard...
Well, you got to think that was I with this person more than once?
Yeah.
Or twice, or maybe... And when I think of a one-night stand, I think of somebody maybe you just met. Maybe you're out or something you just met, or maybe somebody you work with but you just hooked up with one time, or maybe... And it was just that one kind of time, and it was never happened again. So, no, I can't say that I did that. I've done that.
And you haven't either? You've never had a one night stand?
I mean, if you put it that way, no.
Because
what if I put it like this? Have you ever had one night stand?
Stupid. No, the one I was talking about, it was like a stranger just happened to be what I thought was going to be one time, and then it.
Well,
that's what happened to me. I was
that,
filming a wedding, and I thought it was going to I hooked up with a bridesmaid, and I thought it was going to be like one time.
And then you started chatting after that.
Yeah, you met her.
Well, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, and
that's the thing with you think something's going to be a one night stand, and then you get a phone call or you call or something, and all of a sudden it's again, and maybe another time, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, it's like not a one night stand anymore.
Yeah,
which is fine,
It's fine.
I've always wondered about
but
would you like to have a one night stand? Like, it's weird. Would you like to have a one night stand? It's like weird to me.
I think of it as kind of strange now, but when we were in our dating world back years ago, or when we were going out a lot more, or maybe trying to meet people,
I wouldn't be.
Yeah, I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, it's
but
weird.
Now,
to me, like, if the sex is good, like, I would want to see them again.
Well, right, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
if the sex was just all right, I'd be like, all right. Well,
now maybe that says something about us, since we've never had one, and we've always had follow-up visits. If you
either we're good or we know how to pick them.
Either way. I mean, it's just like,
but the fact that they were still willing to see you, I mean,
right.
You can give yourself a pat on the back for that, I guess.
Pretentious that I'm amazing and better.
No, but
my blog does.
I think we do our best.
For the most part. When I was younger.
So yeah, I think a one night. It would be hard to have had a one night stand in the past and not have wanted to follow up with them. For another going out or something.
Right. Well,
what
were we talking about?
That was a life long ago.
What were we talking about? Let's get back on topic.
Well, we were talking about strip clubs.
Oh,
is what the topic
kind of leads into
one
leads into the other.
Yeah, I mean that could be one night stands, or
I wouldn't say we got off topic. I would say
I had a friend that dated strippers for a while.
I always wonder how that would be.
I used to work with a guy that dated a stripper, and I gave him a ride to pick up his girlfriend at the strip club, and we go into the strip club, and like he goes to find her, and the stripper sits down on my lap, and she's like all being like all super flirty or whatever, and then like out of the blue, she's like, "You got any cocaine?" And I was like, "No, I don't have any cocaine." She's like, "Oh," she got up and left. I'm not saying that's a stereotype.
We're gonna go back to a previous podcast, and we're gonna preface this with
preface.
We apologize to any strippers listening to this show, because you're not all.
If you were a stripper listening to this, comment and
please
let us
comment,
know.
But
message us, because we're trying to have a stripper on the show.
Yes, and we know you're not all cokeheads, but we would like to have some strippers.
Yeah,
on the
we would
show.
like a non-cokehead stripper on the show.
No, a cokehead is fine too. Anyway, just a stripper. But you're not all cokeheads.
How do you feel about meth?
You might have a kid you're trying to raise. You might be trying to go through college. There's a lot of reasons people strip.
No, I'm not. I'm not judging a stripper. If you got the rhythm.
Well, like you said,
just judging a cokehead.
Well,
I am judging a cokehead.
That particular situation you were in. That's just a fact.
I don't have a lot of empathy for people.
It is what it is.
Yes. So anyway,
leave a comment below, please. Strippers. Comment. Strippers. Cocaine. We have cocaine.
And meth.
Yeah, and meth. Oh my god.
We're going to get sued by strippers.
And a bunch of money. Okay.
And a bunch of singles. Yeah. No, we got fives.
We got 5s and 10s up in this beat.
Yeah. We're rich. We're a podcast.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes.
Okay.
That would be an interesting. I'm gonna look into that and see what I can figure out.
No,
I am gonna look into that. Yeah.
How long have we been doing this podcast for months now?
No, I'm gonna look into this. Now, I think we should start
months. I'd say days.
We're talking about doing this show on the road, yes, but maybe at a local bar or a brew house or a coffee house.
Come see us at a local bar. We'll let you know where.
Brew coffee house or whatever it is where the show originated from. Anyway,
yes.
But yeah,
where did we get? We got this idea at what was that bar by Chewy's that you and I went to? The Brick House.
Oh, Brick House.
Brick
Oh,
House.
Decided we wanna have it.
Well,
where
maybe
we
we
both
do
had a little bit too much to drink.
Maybe we do our
I was
first
like, we should have a
there.
podcast. And
Well,
she's
that's
like,
what we do.
Oh my god, that's a great idea.
That's the best idea ever.
Yeah. Now, 6 months later, here we are.
Well, I brought up the coffee house because that was where we first did our show prep. Mm-hmm. Was at the Coffee Red Horn.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
we did
that's right.
the brew coffee house,
The
coffee
day of
house
our birthday,
brewery.
that's right.
However the hell that works. They brew coffee.
You
and
had
beer.
a flight of beer.
I had a flight of beer.
A
Yes,
flight of
Neisha
beer.
had a
super strong beer, didn't you?
She had my
Super
pumpkin
strong beer
ale
shot.
that I
Didn't
didn't
it?
drink. There was like 12% alcohol, maybe more than that. She shot the thing.
That seems like forever ago.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe, yeah. Well, maybe we go back there.
That was a bit ago.
They have that room. We can
They
reserve
did
it.
have the room with the couch,
time.
and yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe our next podcast will be on the road. If not, we were going to eventually be doing one on the road. And you're welcome to join us and come check us out. We might have some koozies by then.
I'm gonna
Maybe.
We'll see.
we're gonna get the design. And Mike's gonna
We're still working on some stuff.
All right, what's the next topic?
So strippers, that's good.
Okay, we're done with that one, I think.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to, I know when we had our last guest here, I immediately was like, I want these couples to fail that are on TV. I want them to,
the guest that he despised.
Yeah, the guest that I despise. She's like, why would you want
Who
that?
I have
You
to
don't
live
need that.
with.
No, I want these people that are on TV. I want them to fail miserably. They're on TV.
Yes.
They're out there in the world. They're putting themselves out there like, oh, look at me. No, I want the husband to bang other people, the chick to hook up with other people. I mean, look at the Kate plus 8 or the John Kate. They had
John
8
and
kids,
Kate
and all of a
plus
sudden
8,
they're divorced and all this. That's great. Great for them. Bravo. He went and cheated on her, and now she's running around. Whatever. I don't know.
And
I don't
they both
follow
Do you
his
want them
show.
to fail because they're a couple on TV, or do you want them to fail because you're just rooting against them?
Both.
Okay, so because they chose to make their life public.
Yes, then they should deal with all that comes with
As
that.
long as I know where we're at.
Much like our friend Joel Osteen.
Fuck
he's
that,
a
but okay, here we go.
Oh,
Oh my
Don't
god!
go this again. Just don't.
Oh,
Just
I need a
don't.
timeout. Go ahead.
Because he's a public figure, yes,
Fuck
you should
him.
be able to go after him.
Continue.
Go on.
Continue. I'm
I'm gonna
sorry.
take a timeout.
All right, so strip clubs. We're going to do a podcast from there one day. We're trying to get
It's
that.
on you, buddy.
I'm going to work on that.
All right. You gotta get the strippers some t-shirts and hats and koozies.
Well, they're going to need that, or they're going to need some singles, or some crack, or some cocaine.
I think
I'm gonna
Rather
take
have
a
the
fucking
singles or
koozie
crack.
and their fucking G-string.
Put a bumper sticker in there, or some type of
Oh yeah,
some kind of swag.
I'm kind of famous. Yeah, a bumper sticker.
Not only are we wearing the shirt, then we're rolling it up. Maybe we get the
Take it
gun.
off.
Maybe, oh, there you
I
go.
gotta start working out.
Yeah, maybe we get the gun, that air gun, and shoot it at him.
That's the Neisha. We're up there getting lap dances. She's all shooting with fucking guns and t-shirts.
Shooting that and koozies and hats and
Oh, God.
mouse pads and.
Mouse pad. I need a mouse pad.
God.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been shit without it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, supposedly, I was told I did my rant earlier in the episode
No.
about our last guest. No, I'm going to take that as my rant because that was a rant.
No.
And I'll rant about that
You have
again if
another
I
rant
need
you'd
to.
like to?
No, that was a
I'm
good
gonna wait
rant.
for her to get back, and then I'll let you rant again.
Nah, I can't rant in front of her. Are you crazy? That's not gonna happen. You'll never hear this again.
No, I think you can have another rant. This is our rant time. You can.
Yeah,
have
you can have
rant.
another rant, dude.
No, well, you know what?
This is our podcast.
This is,
bro.
we make the rules
That's
here.
well. I thought it was our podcast. It is now, but we'll ever see if we have another guest again. If it's still our podcast, wow. All right, so rant time. Niche, do you have
we
anything?
still have 50
You have anything to rant? Well,
It's on
we're gonna keep ranting.
I need a second.
These rants
I need
are
a
gonna go
second.
on.
I haven't even thought about a rant.
You haven't even thought about
What's
it.
the next topic?
Well,
Let's rant about it.
we have gone over quite a few topics in this particular episode. Okay, here's another topic. If you have the opportunity to catch up via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and you come across an old relationship or an old person you used to date,
Uh-huh.
where do you go with that? Do you kind of look in on them, see how they're doing in life? Do you send them a message? Do you check in on them? Do you just kind of watch and see how their life is going? Are you curious? Are you not? I always thought that would be interesting. If you come across maybe an old flame or an old girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, and you catch them on Facebook or one of these social sites, do you look in on them? Are you curious? Would you be interested to catch up with them, whether it be through a message or a call or something? What do y'all think about that?
Well, I mean, I'm not. I do look. You know what? When I'm like bored or whatever, I do look up exes and this and that or whatever. But I don't have any interest in communicating with them. I just kind of like to see what's going on in their lives or whatever. I don't bear any ill will towards any of my exes. Mm-hmm. I think some of them bear a lot more ill will towards me, as you well know. Mm-hmm. So like I said, I don't bear. I check to see. I look into the exes. That's what I mean. Honestly, dude, who are we fucking bullshitting? That's what Facebook is for.
To stalk people.
That's what it seems.
Get on there and look up other people. You know, like I don't ever post anything on there. I get on there and I see what other people's posting, and after like 5 minutes of the stupid like people in Austin checking themselves in safe from a hurricane that's on the fucking coast.
Yeah.
I just, all right, let me look at, this person or there or whatever if I'm bored. So that's basically, and as a matter of fact, I dated somebody for 2 or 3 months, and then we broke up, and I had left my guitar at her house. About 4 months went by, and she's like, you want to come get your guitar? And we ended up meeting at her work, and she was like, she had assumed that I had moved on because she had been watching my Facebook page and assumed I had been dating this other person that I was just friends with. No, not you, Neisha.
Me? Was that me?
She's like, and I was like, she's like, so what's going on with you? And I was like, I'm dating. She's like, you're dating this person. And I was like, no. She's like, you're always checking on them on Facebook. I was like, yeah, because we're friends. I said, we're not dating anymore. She's like, I just assumed you guys started dating again. And I was like, well, if that's your reason for not contacting me, well, whatever.
I'm sad that wasn't me.
Well, it wasn't me. I didn't have Facebook.
You didn't have Facebook,
it wasn't me.
You were not interested in Neisha. So I moved on.
Neisha, would you do that? Would you look in on...
You have a weird situation.
On people from afar.
Well, maybe not weird now.
All of my exes, I'm still quite civil with. So, yeah, I'm like still friends with them on Facebook and still active with them on Facebook and social media and stuff. I mean, as active as I actually am on Facebook. I don't do much on it.
I don't either.
But anyway.
I don't read sign language, Mike. What did you just say?
I said she's currently here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I assume we're talking about the same one.
Yeah, I'm sure we are.
You're going to have to fill this out. Yeah. She just got into town.
Yeah.
I know, because she just texted me.
Oh, so you're with...
But again, I'm still civil with all of my exes, and we still talk.
That's a good question. Like, do you have how do you feel about an ex that, there's if you had an ex, which I know one of you had an ex that kind of was a dick to you, and then you guys broke up, and then they realized how much of a fuck up it was for them to walk away from that relationship and be a dick in it, and have at various points kind of hinted at, hey, maybe we should get back together. Do you find that to be a step backwards? Like, have you ever gotten back with an ex or whatever? Like, I've broken up with an ex.
In my past, yeah, I've gotten back with exes. Only for maybe... Well, you know what? I don't know if it was getting back as far as in a relationship. Maybe, you have an ex and you may see him down the road. Maybe you have another hookup or something. I wouldn't necessarily call that, getting back with them.
What would you call it, Mike? A one-night stand?
Well, would that be a one-night stand?
It's a hookup.
It's a hookup.
It's just a hookup, right?
Just a hookup.
For one night.
Possibly for one night, yeah.
Unless you do but
I feel like one-night stands are with people you don't know.
See, that's what I think. I think of
that's true.
Or I think of it is.
Thanks for destroying my joke.
Either people you don't know. Ideally, that's what it is. People you don't know, or it may be somebody you work with, or you don't have any kind of
somebody you don't plan on having a relationship with.
You have it, and then it's done.
Yeah,
and that's what I think of that. is a one-night stand
Yeah.
also. So, but as far as getting back into something serious, no. Although, and we've talked about this on previous podcasts where I've had issues with relationships in the past. After a certain amount of time, I just kind of grow tired and kind of want to move on. And in my last relationship, it did help as I was getting older and realized, I kind of was thinking about moving on, and I'm like, I'm getting older, and and I was just ready to.
I feel like he's talking about his current relationship.
No, that's what I
That's
mean.
where my mind went to.
Past dating, which is current, but past as far as the dating part of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the dating part of it. You're in a relationship, and then it's like, no, I want this to work, and this and that, and it turns out where it is now, which is fine. But in the past, though, you'd be like, okay, I'm done, move on, whatever, and from that point, I can't say I ever re-hooked up with anybody other than longer than maybe one time or something. But
Rants?
Niche.
I thought of one.
That's good because I have nothing.
I
got
get
mine out the
so
way, so this
pissed
is all
off
you.
You can take 3 minutes.
when I'm trying to sleep
What?
and a fucking mosquito attacks you in the dark.
I will give some input on that.
Oh my god, it's the
sleeping rant.
worst. It is the worst. Like, you can't find them. You hear them buzzing, their little freaking buzz in your ear, and you can't find them. And you turn on the light, and they somehow find their way under your covers, and they start biting you in the legs and shit. And like, how can you even fly? How can you even fly under my covers right now? It's because they're so tiny and annoying.
Some dude went down on you.
Some dude mosquito went down on you.
Probably.
All right, so
Most likely.
my wife and I in our last apartment before we bought our first house.
Oh my god, that reminds me of something. Go ahead.
They had gutters and some other stuff right outside. Horrible mosquito problem. We'd be trying to sleep at night. Mosquitoes buzzing in my fucking ear. I know exactly what you're talking about. I could not have the ceiling fan high enough.
I hate that
Still
sound,
mosquitoes buzzing in my ear. I have to get up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom, spray myself with off. No shit. Spray myself with off just to get back in bed and not have that shit going on all night. So yes, I agree with you on that.
It's the worst.
Just apartment related, nothing to do with mosquitoes. Mike told me a story about how he lived next to a rapist.
That was the apartment.
Tell this this is a crazy fucking story.
We had an apartment, my wife and I. There was a dude that lives next to us, a dude and a friend of his, a couple buddies, and he would always kind of chat with us in the parking lot, or if we were going,
Question?
or if we were headed to our apartment or something. Real nice guy, seemed like a nice guy, kind of a little overly talkative, but it's like okay. And he worked somewhere down the road. He'd always chat with us about stuff, but we always thought he was a little off. Well, anyway, the same time this is going on in our neighborhood, I guess we live in an apartment, but in the neighborhood, whether it was the apartments or the houses in the neighborhood, there was a guy attacking women that were running on like hike and bike trails, and he would attack them and push them off into the woods, or he'd sneak into their apartment and attack them in the morning, and my wife one day was like, it's probably that dude that lives next to us. He's just kind of weird. Well. And I was like, no, it ain't that guy, shit, this is... Well, anyway, I came home from work one day, and there were all these cops out in the parking lot, and I'm walking up to our apartment, and the apartment next to us, the doors open, and these cops are going in and out, and these detectives, and I'm like... And I look at him, I'm like, is this guy who I think he may be? Because my wife was thinking that, and the detective looks at me, and she goes, yep. I'm like, holy shit, it's the guy. So that's the guy
crazy.
who had attacked probably 3 or 4 women in the area was living right next door to us.
How did he get caught?
And he got caught because he drove. And this is some CSI shit here. He drove a Volkswagen, I think a Jetta or a Passat something. And I guess people, Volkswagen keys are kind of like a switchblade type key.
Pop out, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what he drove. And his last victim had said when when he was in her apartment and he was telling her to get undressed or do all this stuff, he was playing with his key, and it was this type of key. And that's how they tied it together. And when they looked at the dude's car, so when he goes to attack her, she fights back, and she actually used her hand and nails and like grabbed his nutsack and just pulled and yanked and whatever. Anyway, he was bleeding all over the place, this guy. So he grabbed a sheet and ran out the door. And when they went to check this dude's car, he had her sheet in the back of his car, bloodied and everything. And that's how they found the guy. Our fucking neighbor.
Ain't that crazy that you live next door with your wife?
So when we moved out of that apartment into our house, I'm trying to get our security deposit back, and the office is like, no, you had a bunch of, the carpet was dirty and this and that. And I'm like, listen, in the time we signed our first lease and we moved out, the apartment lease management company probably changed companies 3 times. So I'm like, no, go back to our original paperwork. We wrote, hey, the carpet's shit and this and that. Anyway, they found out about this and they're like, well, we'll be okay with the carpet, but you're gonna have to pay for this. I'm like, listen, we live next to a fucking rapist. We're not gonna pay nothing. I'm gonna get my security deposit back.
Yeah.
And we got it back. But I'm like, that was crazy how that went down. But yes, that was that story I hadn't talked about in a while. But
was Sasha freaked out, though?
She was freaked out, yeah.
I would be
Oh,
too.
and the fact
freaked
there were
out.
times she was home alone.
Yeah, no,
that's
that's
we
not
didn't always
okay.
get home at the same time.
Yeah.
But that was good. But the dude targeted chicks that were like running later in the evening, and he'd kind of follow them back to their, either he'd attack them right there on the trail, or he'd follow them back to their apartment. And at the same time, we also had people like peeping toms, and it was probably the same dude. But yeah, that was crazy. So yeah, it's been nice to be in a house. But I'm not saying that stuff doesn't happen then either. But not that I know of, at least. But yeah, that was a crazy story.
And with that,
well, so that's I guess that's my rant. That's a rant, right?
A rant.
Yeah. Jay?
I got nothing.
Can't think of anything.
I can't.
Not
Nothing
one
can
single
top.
We're not. We don't want to
talk
talk.
to a
You don't
rapist.
have to top
No.
them.
So at the end of the day, we're going to try and get a show at a strip club for you, the listeners, the people. The reason we do this show, we're going to try and get a show, at least on the road, but hopefully at a strip club. And we'll see what we can do from there. But we appreciate all the listener support and comments, and please continue to post. And hey, tell us if you have any comments, any topics you want to hear about. We'd be happy to talk about those.
They don't have to be pervy. It can be anything, really.
Anything, really, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, yep. Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
All right, thank you. See you.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Hopefully we didn't offend.
But we probably did. Follow us on Facebook.
And Instagram.
This was
Got off topic.
Anal
Anal.
jokes.